Greetings. My name is Vicente Harrison, and I'm the Health, Safety, and Emergency Manager at Portland Parks and Recreation. As a nature enthusiast, an educator, author, and Oregon's first African-American permanent park ranger, it is an honor to welcome you all to Celebrate Black Portlanders.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adina Long, and I'm the Director of Portland Parks and Recreation. I want to welcome you to the first virtual series of celebrating and elevating Black public employees of the past, present, and future. In early 2019, I left the East Coast for Portland. I was born, raised, and worked in New York City, where the diversity of the city, the people, cultural history, and physical landscape helped inform my calling to be in service to others. I am honored to continue this important work alongside such talented and committed colleagues. Thank you for your work. The recent murders of Black people, including George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and many others, has caused anger, sadness, and distrust in our society. This is evident in the racial and social justice uprising we are witnessing here in Portland and around the country. The City of Portland and many of our community partners have provided outlets to encourage employees of color to come together in safe spaces to learn, share, and grieve together. This program is intended to provide a platform to show our solidarity with Black public employees, to honor and celebrate your spirit, strength, and resilience, and to let you know that we stand with you. I'm thrilled to have been invited to participate in this program, and I hope you enjoyed today's performance. I believe this is the start of something great. Please continue to take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you.
Please join us silently for a moment of reflection and respect.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let us resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
I envisioned myself on the stage, a stage I'd never seen before now, except in my mind. I imagine Charles Jordan also saw this place in his mind. not a fire station, but a place designated for artistic expression, a multicultural environment, one that caters to the needs of artists and satisfies the desires of audience members, a space to explore, preserve, and celebrate diversity. I envisioned myself on this stage. I saw myself standing alone, playing to an audience of 99 irises with no voices. Silence. Everyone watching to see what move I'd make next. Watching my every breath with the up and down movement of my chest. Ears perked, patiently awaiting the break in rhythm and sudden shift in sound. I envisioned myself on this stage, teaching brown and black children what it means to truly express themselves, to speak with a confidence that commands a room, and to move with a focus so in tune to the way they feel that they forget to give thought to how it looks. Feelings. I imagined that this place feels warm, inviting even. The space opens up for me, making way for my visions to run wild across each carefully polished wooden plank. With each step, I am grateful for the dedication and skilled hands of those who manage to consistently scuff out the marks made by our forbidden shoes. Shoes soiled from having trodden undesignated paths that house the carefully groomed outside. It does not all just happen. There are more hands behind the scenes. Hands dedicated to the operations of movement felt through the push and pull of progression. A ride taken, sometimes daily, into a land of life and opportunity. A road much traveled, yet paved for a smooth transition into rhythmic alignment. Unseen are the powerfuls. While all eyes are on me, all credit goes to them. The them who trimmed each rose adorning the pathway to your much-needed break. A sight for the sore eyes, resting on a train of services intended for the benefit of us all. I envisioned this place, chilled by the audacity to let loose. A hair-raising sensation of feeling alive and feeling free. An atmosphere of hope filled with the love of collective influence. Behind the scenes is where you'll find them. Those whose voices are rarely heard, but whose touch is constantly felt. I don't just create for me. I create for them. I create for you.
Warm greetings to each of you. It is my honor and pleasure to share with you today. I am continually humbled by the invitation to use my voice to inspire and uplift others. I do not take these opportunities for granted. Thank you. I stand before you today with the weight of a world that has clearly indicated its value of Black life, a value that condones anti-Black racism, white supremacy, and white nationalist groups. And while the weight I am holding, and many of you listening to me today hold, is heavy and overwhelming, I also want to give you a message of light, hope, and love, of resilience and beauty in the midst of all the ugly. I've been in many spaces lately speaking to Black employees about what they are experiencing each day, personally and professionally, as they watch the world take sharp twists and turns at the blink of an eye. A reoccurring theme rests in one key question that Black colleagues in these spaces keep asking: how can I continue showing up? How can I continue to show up when I am filled with pain, trauma, confusion, and anger? How can I keep doing my best job, being my best self, when everything inside me is screaming, run, hide, cry, fight? So I want to talk to you today about what it means to continue showing up in spite of. And I hope my words remind you of the light, hope, and love we carry inside each of us. For as long as I can remember, I have been impacted by words, and more specifically, the spoken word or poetry. So today, as I share with you, I will also gift you with the words of Black folks who have and continue to inspire me. Number one, show up as the complete, unapologetic, authentic you. I know many of you are thinking, how can I do this when everything about my work environment, work culture, tells me that the real me is not workplace appropriate? Here is the reality. It takes a lot of energy and is an emotional toll to wear the mask, as the famed Black poet Paul Laurence Dunbar told us. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh, great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. Recently, I've been asked what compelled me to share my feelings in an email to City of Portland staff back in May, press conferences after the murder of George Floyd, editorial pieces written over the past few months. I can only attribute this to my refusal to wear the mask. I feel that my reflections on everything that is happening around us is not only part of my professional obligation as a champion for equity, but also a part of my personal growth and healing. I'm learning that it does not benefit me or the work if I hide behind the words and images that dominant culture approves. I recently wrote an op-ed piece that received a ton of criticism from white nationalists. Honestly, I was heavily impacted by the words, angry and hurt. I had several moments over the course of a 3-day period where I asked myself, did I say something wrong? Was I too real? Then a colleague of mine reminded me that if you have haters in the work of equity and social justice, you must be doing something right. It reminded me that I can't grin and lie as I watch communities of color continue to suffer trauma from our systems. It takes up too much mental space to pretend, so I have chosen with conviction instead to continue showing up as my authentic self. Number two, show up by asking the tough questions. This is a tricky balance because once we have decided that part of continuing to show up means embracing our true selves, this comes with the added responsibility of speaking up even when we feel exhausted. I have often asked myself the questions, do I have the strength to educate people about themselves today? Do I have the stamina to help somebody do their work? Do I have the patience to have my knowledge and skills extracted and used as original ideas? The simple answer is no. Continuing to show up, the answer is, I need to keep rising. In the words of the late poet laureate, Maya Angelou, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like the moons and like the suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. It is imperative that Black employees hold leadership accountable. If there are policies or practices that are inherently inequitable for Black employees, tell leadership and request changes. It is critical that Black employees advocate for shifts in recruitment, hiring, and retention practices, equitable compensation, and career advancement. Black employees must vocalize what they need from the city, the mayor, council, directors, managers, to experience an increased degree of safety, openness, productiveness, and trust. We must continue showing up by asking the tough questions and demanding the answers. Number 3, show up by recognizing when you need to take a break and take care of yourself. Audre Lorde wrote, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." I would never tell you to continue showing up by being your authentic self, asking the tough questions, and not also acknowledge that Black folks are tired. We need a break. We need to take care of ourselves, and we don't need to ask permission or be made to feel guilty about it. There has been an increased focus on wellness in the workplace, especially given the impacts of COVID-19 and a forced adjustment to a new normal. There are plenty of tips and tricks to recognize when you need to take a break and what to do for yourself when you get it. I have found myself using a variety of self-care practices to recenter, to refocus, when the feeling of overwhelm starts to creep in. Prayer, deep breathing exercises, laughter with friends, playing with my children, watching horrible reality TV, listening to old school 90s music, and cooking a new recipe for my family are all practices that are helping me navigate these uncertain, turbulent times. But the reality is sometimes that is not enough. It is especially not enough when I'm in the middle of my 5th Zoom meeting, tired and frustrated. These are the moments when we need to know it is okay to just step away, even in the middle, even in the midst. And we must find the courage to tell our colleagues and our supervisors that we need a break or that we need help. This is not a sign of weakness, nor should it be used against you professionally. Continuing to show up means continuing to center you, to take care of you. Number 4, showing up by staying ready. Ready for what, you might ask? Ready for the reality that things might get tougher before they get easier. What tools do you have in your toolbox? How are you prepared to ride out whatever comes next? This is just as much about your personal life and taking care of your loved ones as it is about your professional life and having a sense of direction. My college biology teacher would often remind us that proper planning prevents poor performance. I understand what he meant now, and it wasn't just about the quality of work. It was a message about showing up with the necessary tools to do the job. Continue to plan, even in all the uncertainty around us. What will be your next career move? If you aren't satisfied with your current role or your skills and expertise are not being utilized to their full potential, have a plan to advocate for yourself and think about what's next if the results are unsatisfactory. Don't hesitate to raise concerns about your compensation, your work plan, your future. Our history of slavery in this country has impacted so deeply, we don't often recognize the plantation mentality that manifests itself in us on a professional level. We keep our heads down, don't want to cause any trouble, are often worried about losing our job or position in an organization. We fail to advocate for ourselves, and we are reluctant to speak up when we experience or witness inequities. I'm here to tell you today, we can no longer enslave ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. And while our true freedom in this country is questionable at times, I can assure you, giving yourself the permission to be free from the shackles of our tortured past will be the best defense you have in a system that has been designed and functions with white supremacist ideologies. Continue showing up by staying ready and be willing to make a move if what you are experiencing is not just or equitable. Number 5, show up by acknowledging your why. Ask yourself, what is my purpose? We often answer our why with our what. I'm a director, assistant, coach, mentor, trainer. I'm challenging you to contemplate your why. My what is the director of the Office of Equity and Human Rights for the city of Portland. My why is my maternal and paternal great-grandmother and grandmothers, Lula Mae, Arlessie T., Jessie Mae, and Martha. My why is my mother, Brenda, and my father, Charles. My why are my children, Cadence and Bryson. My why is Black life, Black community, Black excellence, Black joy. My why is equity, social justice, dismantling systems of oppression, and providing space and voice for Black and brown folk. The poet Claude McKay speaks to a why. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and pinned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mark at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. So I ask you today, what is your why? How are you moving beyond the simple what and digging deep into your purpose to continue showing up? Finally, show up by loving and encouraging each other. Now more than ever, we need each other. Black people are not a monolith. We are unique in experience, background, beliefs, and values, and yet we are a collective, connected and intertwined by a shared history, shared trauma, shared grief, shared joy. There are moments in time where we have been forced to think otherwise, to be at odds with one another, to exhibit an attitude and mentality that promotes divisiveness and competition. We have been told it is more acceptable to hate on each other rather than bond together in love. I am here today to tell you that we need each other. As we watch the crises of this world play out before us, we need each other. And to continue showing up in spite of, we need each other. I leave you with the Black Family Pledge by Maya Angelou. It is my sincere desire that you continue showing up, knowing you are not alone, and that by simply being Black, you are drenched in light, hope, love, and beauty. Because we have forgotten our ancestors, our children no longer give us honor. Because we have lost the path our ancestors cleared, kneeling in perilous undergrowth, our children cannot find their way. Because we have banished the God of our ancestors, our children cannot pray. Because the long wells of our ancestors have faded beyond our hearing, our children cannot hear us crying. Because we have abandoned our wisdom of mothering and fathering, our befuddled children give birth to children they neither want nor understand. Because we have forgotten how to love, the adversary is within our gates and holds us up to the mirror of the world shouting, "Regard the loveless." Therefore we pledge to bind ourselves again to one another, to embrace our lowliest, to keep company with our loneliest, to educate our illiterate, to feed our starving, to clothe our ragged, to do all good things, knowing that we are more than keepers of our brothers and sisters. We are our brothers and sisters. In honor of those who toiled and implored God with golden tongues, and in gratitude to the same God who brought us out of hopeless desolation, we make this pledge. Thank you.
So this is a song that came up for me following the killing of George Floyd, and it's called "I Can't Breathe." No, not again. Can't overstand another killing of a brother by a policeman. Watch the trend. It not go, and 400 years ago it started. Here we go again. I can't breathe. Officer, please, I can't breathe. I'm not resisting, I can't breathe. Somebody help me, please, I can't breathe. You're killing me. No, Babylon won't quit. When them have we in the grip, rob we of our lives and won't even trip. No respect. What do you expect? Whole heap of brothers, them a slaughter now, a deep on the neck. I can't breathe. Officer, please, I can't breathe. I'm not resisting, no, I can't breathe. Won't somebody help me, please? I can't breathe. You're killing me, and I can't breathe. No, you're killing me. Said I can't breathe. You're killing me. So, blessings and honor to the family of George Floyd. And this last song is a reflection of the light and the hope that I see in the faces and the voices of the youth that are in the streets and continue to be in the streets, especially here in Portland, fighting against injustice. So this song is March Together. Yo, there's no winner in this fight. It's time for us all to unite so we can finally find our way. If you look around, then you can see we're living in two realities. We're gonna balance it today. And when we march together, we are building the world that we all wanna see. Yeah. Filled with love and compassion, justice for all, and a place where everyone can feel free, yeah. Can we put our differences aside, find a way to compromise, learn to be a better friend? Oh, it's so much better when it's we, no stress with you and me, then we can rise again. And when we rise together, we are building the world that we all wanna see. Filled with love and compassion, justice for all, and a place where everyone can feel free. Yeah. It might take longer than we think, but don't give up, we're at the brink. Let our voices remain strong. 'Cause perseverance is the key as we demand equality. We keep standing, can't go wrong. And when we stand together, we are building the world that we all wanna see. Filled with love and compassion, justice for all, and a place where everyone can feel free. Yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah. And when we march together, we are building the world that we all wanna see. Filled with love and compassion, justice for all, and a place where everyone can feel free. Yeah, a place where everyone can feel free. Yeah, a place where everyone can feel free. Yeah. Yeah, man, march together, rise together, and stand together. I'm Aaron Nigel Smith. It's peace and love every time.
Thank you for watching Celebrate Black Portlanders programming. We recognize, understand, and encourage the celebration of the differences that surround us. Please continue to take care of yourselves and each other.